Dr. Monica, Associate Professor from BGC Mandi. So today I am going to give my presentation on the life cycle of honeybees. So dear students, we have seen the honeybees which are just wandering from here to there and which are collecting the nectars from the flowers. You have seen that if you have the garden, there may be many honeybees. And there are many species of honeybees, and you know that this belongs to the phylum Arthropoda and class Insecta. So this is an insect. So there are many species of honeybees, and in its life cycle, if you see the life cycle, there are many stages which are starting from the egg up to the adult. So there are many stages in its life cycle, and there is a very interesting fact about the honeybees because they collect the nectar from flower to flower. So these are very helpful in the pollination. So as we also get many products from the honeybees like honey, propolis and bee wax and many more products which are used and which are utilized in the healthcare as well as in many other cosmetics. So let us start and let us focus on the life cycle of honeybee. So you can see that this is the topic life cycle of honeybee, and there are many stages starting from the egg, then larva, then pupa and then adult. So starting one by one, you can see these honeybee which are very much helpful in the pollination, wandering from one area to the another area. So honeybee develop through a process which is named as complete metamorphosis. Complete metamorphosis means which consisting of 4 distinct life cycle stages, and total development timeline varies based on the bee's caste. So there may be egg, larva, pupa and adult. So in 16 days it becomes the queen, 21 days it becomes a worker, and in 24 days it becomes the drone. You can see the life cycle of honeybee. That this is this one is the egg, very beautifully shown. It is rice shaped and very tiny and white in color. Then after 3 days the egg hatches into larva. You can see here this is a larva that is fed upon the royal jelly. You can see here that is fed upon the royal jelly for the starting days, and then it grows rapidly. The next stage is a pupa, where larva is sealed in the cell and transformed into a pupa and develops into a young bee. And later on, after 21 days, the adult bee emerges from the cell. It is now ready to work in the hive. So these are the 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa and adult. And you are seeing that these are in the honeycombs. Next, there is a term brood. So what do you mean by brood? Brood refers to the developing bees inside the hive. So these are developing stages inside the bee hive. Eggs, larvae and capped pupae, these are inside the hive. So they are forming the brood. So these are the centers in the brood nest where nurse bees care for them. There are 3 types of brood. Number 1, worker brood. So most common, developing in the smallest of the cells with flat capping. So its capping is flat. Then come to the drone brood, which is in the larger cells, usually found around the edges with domed capping. So here capping is the domed. Then come to the queen brood, which is rarely seen unless a new queen is being made, and her cell hangs off or bottom of the comb vertical. So you can see here again the diagram showing the complete metamorphosis, how the brood is, you can see the brood and different stages in the brood: egg, larva, pupa and adult. Next, again this is the honeycomb cells which is shown here. Some are capped, some are uncapped, and you can see egg, then within 6 days larva, then 10 days larva, then pupa 14 days, and pupa again 18 days, and in 21 days it changes into adult. So there are brood patterns. So brood patterns means healthy brood patterns are easily recognized when looking at the capped brood. So frames of the healthy capped worker brood normally have a solid pattern with a few cells missed by the queen in her egg laying. So capping means capping are medium brown in color and convex and without punctures. So drone brood is usually in patches around the margins of the combs. So capping is done with the help of the wax. So this is the brood pattern. Then you can see this is the structure of life cycle. After the formation of eggs, which is 3 days egg, it will change into first instar, then second instar, third instar, fourth instar, and fifth instar larvae. So there are 5 stages in the larvae, then final stage of larvae, and then pre-pupa and pupa, and lastly final stage of pupa, and then it will change into the adult. And you have seen here, this is a diagram showing the V-shaped tip in the queen. If you see its morphological structure, and the flat bottom of the drone and longer segmented portion of the worker. So this is a whole life cycle. Generally life cycle is complete, means ki egg, larva, pupa and adult. But in its larva stage there are 5 stages. So it molds 5 times. So one first, second, third, fourth and fifth instar. So this is how it looks in the comb, and life cycle of honeybee, how you can elaborate with the help of the diagram like egg, larva, pupa and adult. So again, this is just a repetition of the previous one. I have already told you about the egg, then after 3 days it changes into larva, then into pupa and in 21 days into adult. Now what happens inside this brood, when it changes into adult, there are 3 kinds of adult. You can see some are workers bee, you can see some are only few means 7 to 8 are drone, and only one single queen is present in a single beehive colony. So workers are many because they have to perform the many functions. So worker, this one worker as well as honeybee, these are the female. But the main difference is between worker and queen is that a worker is sterile, but queen is fertile, and drone it is fertile. So worker is the smallest of the 3, and it performs all the activities of the beehive: cleaning, nursing, building, foraging, etc. And its lifespan is about 5 to 6 weeks. Queen, the main function of the queen is only to lay the eggs, and it is largest of the 3. And drone is larger and thicker than the worker, and main function is only to mate with the queen, and lifespan is 2 to 3 months. So this is also an example of social organization. So you can see there is a caste system also, and there is a social organization also, but for the distribution of work as well as genetically you can see that some worker is sterile and queen is fertile and male is fertile. So now discuss it in detail, starting from the egg stage. So this is the eggs, which are very tiny, cylindrical, white and like a rice grain. So queen lays a single egg actually, then it lays maximum of the eggs. Thousands of eggs are laid, and the eggs show different positions as it grows. On the first day it is standing vertical, then it takes a turn tilted to the 45 degree on the second day, and on the third day it falls flat to the side before hatching. So fertilized eggs turns into female, which is workers or queen, and unfertilized eggs turns into males, which are drones. So this is the structure of you can see egg, and these are in the honeycomb. These are the cells of the honey. Next is larva stage, which takes about 4 to 9 days, and these are legless, blind, white, worm-like forms, and which are present at the bottom of honeycomb sac. So mainly this is the primary feeding stage, where larvae grow rapidly and shedding their outer skin, molting 5 times. So it depends upon the diet differentiation at this stage, because for the first 3 days nurse bees feed all the larvae that is the nutrient dense fluid, that is a royal jelly. In the starting, everyone you can say workers as well as all the larvae, they are getting the royal jelly so that they can grow. Then from the 4th day onward, worker and drone larvae, they are switched to the bee bread, which is pollen and honey. Means they are not provided with the royal jelly now. They are given the bee bread and pollen honey by the nursing bees. So then they will change it to worker and drone. And selected queen larva continues to eat royal jelly, inducing fertility. And one of them grows and matures into the queen. So what capping is there around day 9. Adult worker bee seal the cell opening with the wax capping through which it can take breathing. So that is the capping. You can see the comb cells and larval stages at different instars. Then pupa stage, day 10 takes 10th day. So beneath the wax capping, the larva spins a silk cocoon and undergoes a complete structural transformation, that is undergoing the metamorphosis. And internal organs are reformed. Appearance of compound eyes are formed, are appearing. Legs, antennae, wings and body hair. All these structures appear. So pupa's eyes, these are the act of maturity indicator. Means these are going to become mature. So it darkens from the white, then to pink, then to dark brown. So this process is called color maturation. So color maturation is taking place at the pupa stage, as well as the internal organs are formed at the pupa stage. So this is the pupa, and you can see the egg, larva, pupa, adult, how these are undergoing the different processes and growing. Then the adult. So when the development finishes, the fully formed adult bee, it comes out or bites through the cocoon and wax capping and emerges into the hive. So newly emerged bees are soft, having the soft exoskeleton. Later on it becomes very hard. So honeybee colony typically consisting of 3 kinds of adult bees, already discussed, like workers, drones and queen. So you can see, you can differentiate between the workers, queen and drone. So drone is male, queen and worker are female, but queen is fertile and worker is sterile. Now you can see the morphology of all these forms like worker, drone and queen. So in the starting you can see here, these are the eggs changing into larva changing into pupa. Then it depends upon the diet or the nutrition, how it changes into or what happened. Because of the diet, some will change into drone, some will change into workers and only one will change into queen. You can see here that this is a larva which is fed on the royal jelly that will turn into queen. And this is a larva which is coming from unfertilized egg and it is feeding on the bee bread. It just forms a drone. And last one is, you can see that larva which are again feeding on the bee bread, that is the asexual female bee, that is a worker. And worker is a main honeybee which is performing all the duties. And the main function of queen, that is only to lay the eggs. And main function of drone, only to mate with the female queen. So this is how you can see the morphology of queen, worker and drone. So again, repeating through the diagrams, you can just summarize, you can just learn about the different castes or about the social organization of worker, queen and drone and the different stages of egg, larva, pupae and adult. So mainly the terms come social structure or social organization. So it is mainly this is a colony that is maintained by the presence of queen and workers and depends on the effective system of communication. And that effective system communication that releases the chemicals, and these chemicals are named as pheromones. So which communicate and these are responsible for controlling the activities which are necessary for the colony survival. So again, social organization, because all of three, these are performing the different functions. So queen is only one, workers are so many, and drone only few, 7 to 8. So bee development in detail, when you study that egg changing into larva, larva changing into pupa, all these stages collectively labeled as brood. And while the developmental stages are similar, but they do differ in duration. So unfertilized eggs change into drones, fertilized becomes workers or queen. So mainly the main thing is that nutrition plays an important role in the caste development of the female bees. So royal jelly, the one queen which is receiving the royal jelly, that will become the queen. So honeybee caste, again, this is the same repetition of the previous slides. Queen, you have seen, if you see in detail about the queen, that queen lay the greatest number of eggs in the spring and early summer. So during peak production, queen may lay up to the 1500 eggs per day, and one queen may produce 50,000 eggs per year, more than a million in her lifetime. So the second major function of queen is producing the pheromones that serves as a social glue, unifying and helping to give individual identity to a bee colony. So one major pheromone termed queen substance is produced by her mandibular glands. So queen can survive up to several years, but one interesting thing is about queen, that if queen is infected or if queen is becoming weaker, then some other worker bee that will be fed upon the royal jelly that can replace the previous queen. So it can replace the older queen, or which is dying or which is infected. So queens, you can know more about the queen. So queen thorax is slightly larger than the worker, but she doesn't have pollen basket or functional wax glands. So her stringer is curved and longer than that of worker, but has fewer and shorter barbs. So there is a term supersedure or swarming or emergency. So what terms? New queens are raised under different conditions or emergency. So supersedure or swarming. So when an old queen is accidentally killed, or infected, or lost, or removed, then the bees select younger worker larvae to produce emergency queens. So these queens are raised in the worker cells to modify, hang vertically on the comb surface, and they are fed on the royal jelly. So drones. Drones are the male. These are the largest bee in the colony, and they are present only during the late spring and summer. And drones have no stringer, no pollen basket or wax gland. The main function is only to fertilize the queen. So drones stay in the hive until they are about 8 days old, after which they begin to take orientation flight. And workers, this is the main. So workers are the main which is performing all the functions. So this is the smallest in size and constitutes the majority of bees and occupying the colony, and they are sexually undeveloped females under normal conditions, hive conditions, but they do not lay eggs. So you can see the structure of this worker bee, showing all the structure: head, thorax and abdomen, having the antenna, tongue, compound eyes, and many more structures which are very specialized, like brood glands, food glands, scent glands, wax glands, and pollen baskets. So which allow them to perform all the labors of the hive. So it can perform all the functions. So it has a pollen basket also, and it has a sting also, and it has some special structures like brood food glands also, and wax gland. So they clean, they polish the cells, they feed the brood, they care for the queen, they remove the debris, and handling incoming nectar, build the bee beds, combs, guard the entrance and air condition, and ventilate the hive during their initial few weeks as adults. So as long as 6 months, allowing the colony to survive the winter. So this is very interesting fact about the colony. You see the colony. So this colony is only due to the worker bee. So worker bee is only the bee that is collecting the nectar, that is cleaning the beehive, that is just feeding the others, and that is performing all the functions to survive and to form a colony. So this is all about the life cycle of honeybees. So you have seen, you have now studied about the honeybee, that its life cycle is complete because its metamorphosis is complete. It shows all the 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa and adult. Later on, it also shows the social organization because of the presence of worker bee as well as a queen as well as a drone, which perform the different functions. Now you can learn more about this by going through this lecture and by going through the books. Thank you.